William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.
Sonny Donnelly, IFL TV in association with MGM Marbella. I'm at the Four Seasons Hotel today in Canary Wharf for the presser for Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. On the card, fighting for the European title, which is a dream of yours, I know.
It was the European title, but the opponent pulled out.
It's not anymore?
Of
course, Frank, I thought we were still fighting for it.
It's the EU title. It's consolation. It's not the same thing to me, but it's a consolation nonetheless.
The European title nonetheless. New opponent, I don't know much about him. Can you explain to me who he is?
I actually think Moscatiello is a better fighter than Branco at this stage of their careers. Branco was a bit on the older side. He'd won the EBU title a bit on the fluky side. He in a fight that he'd been down twice in, was getting beat around in, and then Rafael Jackwicks slipped on the canvas and tore his ACL in his knee, and Branco ended up winning by TKO in a fight he was being dismantled in. And he's never defended the title. He's held it, kind of marinated it for a year, and so he was finally going to be able to defend it against me, and someone called for a reason. I never got a real reason yet for the pullout, but he pulled out on me. And Moscatiello has been brought in as a replacement. He's a 20-2 record. He's fought for the EBU title before he lost to Leonard Bundu by 5th round stoppage on a body shot. But he's got some pretty good names on his record, pretty good records at least that he's beaten on his record, and I think he'll put up a fine fight. I think at the end of the day, it'll be a better fight than it would have been with Branco. I think with Branco, I would have dismantled him a bit easier. But the disappointment definitely comes with not having a chance to fight for the main European title, the real one, the EBU title. Maybe one day before I retire, I hope.
Obviously, Branco pulled out quite late. You obviously trained to fight Branco. What does this do to your game plan now? Have you got to change it?
No, I don't change my game plan. You know, maybe make little adjustments, but I don't change my game plan. You know, it's funny. Moscatiello is actually a friend, so I've actually sparred him and everything, so I know him pretty well. You know, and my game plan remains the same. You know, I want to be the best I can be, and I feel like if I'm the best I can be, the opponent has to adjust to me and do the things that I do well. You know, obviously some nights they come out better than others, but on a night where I'm at my best, I feel like I'm very tough to beat, and that's the plan on Saturday night.
Obviously fighting on a massive packed card in London. Is it a dream of yours to fight in London?
Yeah, you know, and that's the silver lining here. You know, I don't get a chance to fight for the European title, but I remain on the card, and that, thankfully, to my team, Al Heyman, and to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Promotions for keeping me on this card, because it would have been a really big disappointment to have lost everything, you know. And so I lost the European title. That's a bit of a disappointment, the chance to fight for it, but for the chance to still remain on the card and fight in front of the UK fans, which is something I've always wanted to come back and do, and to know that the crowd is sold out, and not a surprise there. They always support their boxing so well here. Loud, vociferous, singing, chanting. I can't wait to just be in that atmosphere inside the ring fighting, and that's kind of the thing I still get to look forward to, and I still get adrenaline thinking about it.
Obviously, you're a US boxer fighting over in England, an English boxer fighting in the US. Ashley Theophane, possibly a fight against your former opponent, Adrian Broner. What do you make of that fight?
You know, Adrian is a tricky guy, he's a crafty guy, but Ashley has not been handed anything in his life, and Ashley has not been handed anything in his career. So I think I don't mind seeing the fight. You know, great determination sometimes against a guy like Adrian Broner, who I'm not saying he's lazy, because he's not. He works very hard, but at times inside the ring he fights.
Who said you can interview Malinaggi? Who said you can interview Malinaggi?
He's my mate over here. What's going on?
What, you bumped me off?
No, Coogan. We all get our turn, mate. If I would have, this is my mate right here, Coogan Cassius.
Okay, mate, you snooze, you lose. Sounds good.
What are you guys on the same team over here?
He works for us.
Oh, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So yeah, I'm a newcomer here. I didn't know.
I'll get you as well. I'll get you like one as well. Go on,
Cheers, I'm going to do that to your next interview. Watch, I'm going to crash it.
So yeah, I mean, I lost my train of thought.
I apologise for him.
No.
I'll move on anyway. A former opponent of yours, another one, Amir Khan and Kell Brook, a possible fight that could happen.
Oh, actually, Theophane, that's what I was talking about.
Oh yeah, Theophane, first of all.
You know, sometimes Broner takes his talent for granted inside the ring, and he gives you lulls and gives you spots where you can work. And I think Ashley's the kind of guy that would take advantage of those kind of things. You know, we'll see. I don't complain about the fight. I think a guy like Ashley's been deserving of a shot. He's been working very hard, and I know that at the end of the day, when he's in the ring with Adrian, he's not going to save anything aside from, you know, what he leaves in the ring. You know, I think what Ashley leaves in the ring on that night, it'll be all the hardships and all the things he had to overcome to get to that point in his career. And I know that feeling myself when I fought Miguel Cotto. You know, it was a long time coming to finally be an opportunity like that in my life, not just in my career. And I think Ashley's been the kind of guy who's been waiting for the same kind of thing. So Adrian's a great talent, he's a great fighter, but I think Ashley will give the best performance he can, and the best of Ashley THEOPHANE will get, I think, will make for a good fight.
As I was about to say before, Amir Khan and Kell Brook could be in the pipeline for 2016. What do you make of that fight?
I think it's great. You know, I've been wanting to see it for a while. Two tremendous fighters, two world-class fighters. But on these shores, they're also local fighters because, you know, they're both from the UK. So I think it's a massive fight with worldwide implications. But it's an even more massive fight in the UK because both happen to be from here. So I just hope I get invited. Or maybe I can fight on that card. Who knows?
Maybe we get Bronco for that one.
Yeah, maybe I can get a European title shot on that card. Who knows? But I'm excited about the talk of that and finally that there's some positive movement going in that direction and that fight might actually happen.
And I will talk a little bit about higher up on the card that you're fighting on Saturday, Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. What do you make of that fight?
I think it's interesting, you know. Joshua, we've yet to see him kind of tested so much, not because he's lack of opposition, because he's faced the guys that are par for the course for a prospect of his level. He just keeps dismantling guys that are even supposed to give him rounds. Dillian Whyte's an interesting proposition because not only has he beaten Joshua in the amateurs, but he's also a guy that has an undefeated record. And one thing about guys with undefeated records, they tend not to give in as easily as maybe a guy who's a faded veteran or a grizzled veteran, a guy who's been there before and can teach you some things, but when going gets hard, he may kind of back down, you know. He may not have that youthful enthusiasm anymore. But Dillian Whyte is not the case for him, you know. He's got that undefeated record to protect. He's got that amateur win over Joshua, so he's got a lot of things that giving him that confidence. And for that reason, I think, you know, we may see at least, I'm not saying I can predict a winner, I'm not saying I can predict an upset or anything, but it'd be interesting to see if Whyte can put some hands on Joshua, or at least throw some offense his way and force us to see a little bit more of Joshua besides the huge punching power we've gotten to see.
Elsewhere in the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury defeated Vladimir Klitschko a few weeks ago now. The press over here, I don't know about in the US, they've been pretty brutal. They've not held back. What do you make of that?
I think it's ridiculous. I really think it's ridiculous. And the U.S. too. I would think at least in the U.K. people would give him his respect and his credit. Listen, I'll be the first one to say I didn't think Tyson Fury was going to win that fight. But when I watched that fight, I don't know what there is to complain about. If you're looking for rock'em sock'em type of robots, sock'em robot type of fights, then don't watch boxing. Go to your local bar, your local pub, and watch a tough man contest between drunk guys beating each other up. You know, I think Tyson Fury fought a magnificent fight. I thought he fought brilliant. I thought he offset Klitschko's pace. I thought he offset Klitschko's rhythm. I thought watching the fight, you could tell that was part of his game plan, and he didn't do it on accident. It wasn't just the kind of thing where he showed up on fight night and the fight just became a dud. It was the kind of thing that he had planned the whole time. No matter how much he promoted the fight and talked about it, the plan was never to destroy Klitschko. It was to disrupt him consistently enough to land enough pot shots and a hard shot here, a hard shot there, and put the rounds in the bank. I think if Fury had to picture the fight in his mind before it happened, that's the exact fight he would have pictured. And I can't discredit him for that. I really can't. And I think anybody that discredits him for that doesn't understand what they're watching, which is not a surprise, of course. In the media, unfortunately, these guys literally sit ringside every week and still don't know what they're watching. But for me, that I do this for a living, and I can understand the little nuances, and especially in game planning and whatnot, I've got to give Tyson Fury a lot of credit.
He's already been stripped of the IBF title, so he could look for the WBC to sort of get the belts up. Deontay Wilder is the holder. There's been a bit of back and forth on Twitter. Have you been looking at that?
Yeah, you know, I think it could be an interesting fight. Always a unification is always something special. It's a shame the IBF has to strip Fury because, you know, I mean, for one aspect of it, it'll open up more belts for the heavyweights to kind of pass around. But at the end of the day, you kind of like to see that all the work Klitschko had done to unify them, you would have stayed together. But at day's end, I think Fury and Wilder is always a big fight because two heavyweight title holders from big countries that are heavily involved in boxing, that always produce great fighters, that's the England and the US. So I think a fight between those two would be a tremendous promotion, and it would be something the fans would look forward to seeing.
Well, something else the fans look forward to is you fighting Saturday. So I'll let you get on with your press conference because I know there's a lot more people here that want to interview you. But Paulie Malignaggi, thank you very much for coming to IFL TV and best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, guys.
William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.